of friends. Today we are building a pond hockey rink and stadium with our good friend Jersey Games. Woo-woo. Jersey actually streamed this live back in February. And if you saw that stream, I'm so excited for you to see the reveal at the end because I've added extra stuff. When Jersey left, I stayed on for a couple more hours and made the place amazing. If you haven't seen Jersey's, well, the description has the link in it, and you are going to want to check that out. We kind of did the whole divide and conquer thing, so his point of view is very different than my point of view for this build. So please check that out. I love that, being able to see the different perspectives of builds. I think that's just amazing. But here we are. We're starting with the stadium. If you've seen my other builds, you know that Dinkum math isn't always my friend. So here I am with my slide rule and compass trying to figure out how to do bleachers. Bleachers always get me, and I do these a lot. You think it would be easier for me? They're always a challenge. I knew I wanted to have 4 levels of seats, right? So I'm like, okay, if the first one's on 1, okay, then 2 more, then 4. Yeah. It was a lot of tweaking going on, but it always works out in the end, doesn't it? It turned out amazing. Next comes all of the trying out of the different paths and whatnot. So my idea was, since it's pond hockey and we're outside, I wanted to keep with the dark wood, and I wanted to keep with that mossy brick. That, to me, it brings in the colors of nature, you know? But don't think it was all fun and games. Okay, so it took me a couple tries to figure out exactly how I wanted this to look. And again, if you follow my builds, you know I don't really plan ahead. I have a loose idea of what I want, but I don't necessarily plan. This, for instance, okay, so I tried out 3 different things for the bleachers. I started with the dark wood benches, and then someone in chat's like, oh, there's those dark wood couches. I'm all, oh yeah, that's amazing. And then someone's like, oh, what about those blue waiting chairs? I'm like, oh yeah, that's amazing. So it went from the hardwood benches to the marble benches to these blue seats, which of course that they were meant to be there. But I did like the couches, so I kept those for the VIP seating. You know, we got the cush for the VIP bums, you know. Background there, you can see the only thing I really asked Jersey to do by himself was a fountain, because you know Jersey does these gorgeous, amazing fountains. It was just one little thing. I wanted it to be a frozen fountain because obviously ice hockey, it has to be frozen. I don't know that Jersey was too excited about that, but it did turn out so nice. And honestly, now every time I walk by there, it makes me smile and I think about Jersey. So I'm so glad I had him build that frozen pond. Here we're trying to do concession stands. And like everything else we did, I believe we did about 3 versions of this. First was mine, you know, like, okay, yeah, that's cute with the little thing, blah, blah. And then Jersey's like, what if we bump it up and like put stairs up to it? I'm like, okay, yeah. That is gonna work so much better. Not necessarily work better, but it just looked better So this is why you do collaborations, people, because you get input from people who are thinking outside the box. Um, it just worked. And then of course Trisha's like, are we going to use stairs? And I'm all, oh, didn't even think about stairs. Obviously we're going to use stairs. Why wouldn't we? So yeah. Yeah, this might be when I realized, oh yeah, Jersey, we need to bump everything out one square because my math wasn't mathing again. That I think that's just kind of every build. There's a little kink, right? You have to go in and redo something. I would be shocked if I did an entire build where I didn't have to go and tear something down and rebuild it. I mean, that would be amazing, but I don't know that that has ever happened. I'm not altogether sure what Jersey's doing at this point, but I know he was trying to figure out what we were going to do with the snow, how we were going to lay down the snow, how we were going to lay down the water that looks like it's frozen over. There was a lot of discussion how we wanted to do that, if we wanted little floating pieces of frozen ice to make it really look like we were just out in nature on a frozen pond. That's what he's doing. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start on the pond hockey rink since, oh, there's the beautiful fountain. Check it out, check it out. This was, how high do we want the plants? And tweaking the concession stand one last time. I mean, you don't know what you don't want until you see it. You know what I mean? But when it's right, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, and that's the best feeling. That is the best feeling. Anytime I stop and I look confused, that's me trying to do math in my head. I'm trying to figure out how big I want the rink to be, how far out I want it from the seats. Is the tunnel the middle point? Is it going to be horizontal? It's all of these things. And I'm from the Midwest, but I haven't been there in decades. And I know that some of the pond hockey, they lay out boards around the rink so that when you're walking around, you're not just slipping and sliding. So that's what this border is. It's representing the board you would put down around the outside of the ice hockey rink. So you don't slip and break your neck. Now here's going to be the ice bank. So after you smooth out the pond hockey rink, there's little banks of snow on the side. And that's what this is. It's going to all come together and you're going to be all, obviously that's what that is. But it's a journey. It's a build journey. There's a lot of talk also which path would be the best for the actual hockey rink. and I decided that I liked this white. It just seemed polished to me. We had put down the pearl path, and all I could think, as someone who does ice skate, is there's no way I could ice skate on those bubbles. I would hurt myself. So we went back and forth, and yes, we decided on the white tiles. And pond hockey has these weird little boxes for the goals. And actually, these look pretty close. I had to kind of just get over the fact that there was dirt in them. It was fine. It was close. And we used a couple hose for the sticks. I think we ended up with the black disc for the puck. You know, you just have to use your imagination in Dinkum world because we don't have everything we want for building. Not yet. Someday. So here is Jersey's frozen water situation out front, and it looks amazing. We only got a little sneak peek of it there. But that pearl path was perfect for the frozen water. It's coming together. We were trying to figure out what the border was, how we wanted to frame the ice hockey, because goodness knows we weren't going to do the whole island with snow. So I decided on a little bit of water coming in, and then there could be frozen water on one side, ice on the other side. And then Jersey started planting a bunch of trees. Obviously there had to be an ice fishing hole here. Duh. But the trees on the other side of that too really brought the whole thing together with, we are in the middle of nature. We are in the middle of a forest. This lake is just freezing over. It was so abstract. The idea was so abstract at the beginning of like, how are we actually going to do this? I mean, I was a little bit shocked and amazed that it came together just perfectly. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So the marble and the white tiles, snow. The pearl would be the frozen lake. And here we are. We just need to take a moment. Just take it in. Now we're kind of going around, just checking. Okay, do we want the fence here? Look at the little floating patches of ice. I mean, it's amazing. The fountain. I am so glad I had him do that fountain. Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. It's amazing. But that pearl path, it could have been better. Look at us. It looks so great. Oh, Jersey, thank you. But here we go. Walk through. This is after I've added the little goodies to it. So we come in straight from the teleporter. You know, best subway stop ever. Our beautiful chairs, our VIP section for our little VIP bums. Right into the concession stands. Got your hot chocolate, your beer or wine, Dagwood dogs, everything you need for a hockey game. Just look at how beautiful this is. That pearl path, man, I just love how that, you can tell that that's where the water is frozen over. It's amazing. Other concession stand, put out some seating. If you want to sit in the freezing cold, you're welcome to do so. Added some restrooms. Obviously, we needed restrooms if we have a stadium. And the trees and the snow, do you see that? Just how beautiful that is? And then here's our hockey rink with the frozen water coming right up to it. Our little ice fishing spot I added some little icebergs out there, and check this out. Our own treetop viewing spot. So you can go up there and see the whole thing. And Jonathan, didn't forget about you. He asked that I have some kind of a sailboat for some, ice excursions. So there you go, the Jolly Jonathan. That's for you. That was a great idea. And then obviously the Canucks lookout. Canucks are our team, so shout out to the Canucks. Here's the little treetop viewing area of this amazing build. I mean, good gravy. Check this out. I just can't tell you how happy I am, how it turned out. I started with that tiny little idea in my head, not knowing how it was going to work, but here it is. Check it. This is at the top of the tunnel with the bridges, and then there's some pergolas down there so you can run through the tunnel at night, y'all. This is kind of made to see at night with all the lights. It is just beautiful. Here we go. Let's run down the tunnel. This is how you come into the stadium. Dinkum Ruse. Check it out. The lighting on the ice. Gorgeous. And the trees are, put some lights in the trees. Lights on the little iceberg. Your little fishing spot obviously needed light as well. And in the treetop viewing, added some more little green lights just to really highlight the trees. But just look at that stadium. This might be the fanciest pond hockey I have ever seen. I love it. Love it. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Just take it all in. Just take it all in.